We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Amadeus.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Amadeus.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
One of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they on me. Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans and I got...
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the QueenAShakur TV show. I'm your host, QueenAShakur. Okay, so hold on for just a second. I'm posting this next link for the other channel. Okay, so we're about to get into it. We're about to get into it. And if you're a member on the other channel, you'll be seeing this at 5 o'clock today. Okay, so please get the likes up. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. All right, hello, that crazy beach Aries. All right, Claudette's in the house. Alice is here. The Prince of Paraphernalia. Cyrus, Trayvon is here. All right, all hell no. So let's get into it. Nessie X 504 Nola. Okay, shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. All right, we're about to get into these receipts because it's a whole lot of nefariousness going on. It is a whole lot of nefariousness going on. Please pay attention. So I'm going to be going live on the main channel later on today. As some of you already know, if you were on the previous broadcast on that channel. And we're going to be talking about all these liars and frauds out here grifting, making up whole lies. Okay. Now, let me just go ahead and post this real quick. Hold on, beloveds. Just give me just a second. And this, again, is going to be a members only broadcast. Okay. So I'm going to drop the link for those of you who are members so you make sure to tune in. All right. Hey, Shalvit, beloved. Okay, there's the members only link. James is in here. Okay, let's get into it, Fat Boo. All right, over thoughts. All right, so let's get it started. Let's get it started. A whole lot of nefariousness going on here. First of all, let's talk about Diddy's sons. Because speaking of liars who lie, I was the first one to tell you guys that Courtney Burgess was absolutely telling lies. Okay, I told you all that. But so let's talk about it because now Diddy's sons are threatening to sue him. Okay, they're threatening to sue him. And this just came out fresh off the press. Okay, I didn't even realize until I ended the other live, or I would have talked about it on there. So anyway, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, here's the thing. Oh, and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur, TikTok to Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. And as per usual, if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, please don't hate. Just leave. Exit stage left. Don't let the virtual doorknob hit you on the way out. Now listen to this, reported by TMZ, okay, just hours ago. Says Diddy's sons say you can't sell Kim Porter book, threatened author over alleged diary. Okay, so Diddy's sons are waging their own legal battle now, warning the man who's hawking the Kim Porter book, allegedly based on her diary, to shut it down or face a lawsuit. And they're talking about none other than Courtney Burgess, aka Courtney B. Now, Christian and Quincy Combs, they called him Quincy Combs. His name is Quincy Brown, okay? But Christian Combs and Quincy Brown fired off a cease and desist letter to a guy named Courtney Burgess and to his attorney, Ariel Mitchell, over Kim Porter Tell It All, a book, okay? Currently sold online under the pseudonym Jamal Millwood. So they say in the letter obtained by TMZ, the Combs brothers say they became the rightful heirs and owners of Kim's intellectual property rights following her death in November of 2018, and therefore her purported diary entries belong to them. Now, as they point out, Burgess himself did a bunch of interviews to promote the book, claiming it was an original unedited copy of her diary and memoir. He's alleged to have a flash drive from people who were close to Kim and printed it without any edits to produce the book. Now, Quincy and Christian are shooting down that narrative, saying the whole flash drive tale is patently false, saying that he's lying and misleading the public. But in the letter, they did add that if it were true, the flash drive would belong to them as being her heirs. So he's really got no leg to stand on. They said we spoke to Burgess and Mitchell a few weeks ago in New York City, where they told us they met with federal prosecutors. Now, this is what TMZ is saying. Said they met with federal prosecutors. We're told the Fed seized his phone, which contained a copy of the flash drive data used for the book. Now, Kim and Diddy's sons are now putting Burgess on the clock. They say he has 5 days to shut down the online sale of the book, stop doing interviews, making false claims, and turn over any of Kim's possessions that he claims to have. They also want an accounting of any monies that he's made off the book already. Oh, his face is about to be real cracked. That's about to be real cracked. Now, the unspoken threat here is a lawsuit could be the Combs' brothers' next move. Okay, so please pay attention, honey, because they're not playing with him. They're not playing with him. And at the end of the day, how dare him sit up there and make up all these nefarious lies, okay, and act as though he got this book from Shakur Stewart, a dead man who passed away in 2008. And like I told you guys before, Kim passed away in 2018. So how would Shakur have the book 10 years prior to even give to him, or any flash drives? Okay, James Allen says, I don't think the flash drives are bogus, but I think what Courtney got is BS and made up. Absolutely. You know, there could be some flash drives, beloved. At the end of the day, we'll see, because here's the thing. Remember, the courthouse interview that him and his lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, did after he testified before the grand jury the first time, when they were talking to her and him, she said that they were going to get documents to hand over to the feds. She didn't say anything about a flash drive. She said documents. Second of all, remember when he was on my show, he told me that the feds already came and got everything from him 2 days before, which would have been October the 18th. And then on another show, he lied and said that he threw the stuff in the fire. So I don't think he has any flash drives. Now, he just might, but he's telling a whole bunch of lies. So how do you believe anything that a liar says, especially a pathological liar, which is clearly what Courtney Burgess is at this point? Okay, please, let's pay attention. He's a whole liar who lies. Okay, that crazy bitch Eric said, lying on the deceased. I'm sorry, Deronda said, lying on the deceased is blasphemous. Yes, it absolutely is. Okay, it absolutely is. So with that all being said, hold on. He lied, saying they came to his house and took things, then said he served them. But it wasn't a raid and they took nothing. Right, because when we saw the paperwork that Too Strong had on his channel, okay, Corey on Too Strong, he basically showed the paperwork and it was a subpoena. Okay, it was a subpoena. It wasn't anything about a warrant for a raid or any of that, like he lied and said. So I'm just saying, honey, this man's a whole liar who lies. Please pay attention. But now, with that all being said, let's talk about the rest of what's going on here. Let's talk about it, because they have new updated information on Sonia Massie. Okay, and we're going to get into it. So likes up, everyone, please like and share. Here's what they have to say. They said the DOJ opens a civil rights investigation into the murder. I'm not going to say the death. It was a whole cold-blooded murder by that police officer. Okay, they opened an investigation into the murder of Sonia Massie. So let's talk about it, because here's what the reports are saying. They say the U.S. Justice Department has launched a civil rights investigation of Illinois Sangamon County Sheriff's Office 4 months after a deputy fatally shot Sonia Massie while responding to her call about a possible prowler outside the 35-year-old Black woman's home. Now, the July 6th encounter between Massey and 2 county sheriff's deputies who came to her home near Springfield ended with Deputy Sean Grayson, who is white, shooting her following a dispute involving a pot of hot water in her kitchen. Okay, body camera footage showed what happened. Now, Grayson was fired and charged with murder and other offenses. In a letter Thursday to county officials, the Justice Department said the shooting raises serious concerns about SO's interactions with Black people and people with behavioral health disabilities. Now, a copy of the letter was obtained by CNC affiliates Wix. Now, the shooting also raises concerns about SESO's policies, practices, procedures, and training regarding community policing, bias policing, and response to behavioral health crises, use of force as well, and de-escalation in other matters, according to the DOJ. They say, additionally, the incident and prior 911 calls involving Ms. Massey in the days before her death indicate possible issues with the emergency response and dispatch system, according to the DOJ, which said that it's also reviewing employment practices, allegations of a lack of racial diversity, and body-worn camera compliance. Now, the Justice Department will investigate whether these matters amount to race and disability discrimination prohibited by federal law. Massey's killing, which was captured on body-worn camera, sparked national outrage and renewed calls for the passage of the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which would set up a national registry of police misconduct and target racial bias and use of force. Now, Grayson's issues with the law, the military, and his work in policing span 6 agencies in 4 years. CNN sought comment from the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, the Justice Department, and the Sangamon County State's Attorney's Office, and attorneys for the Massey family. So in October, the Massey Commission, which was established by the Sangamon County officials after the shooting, they sent a formal request for an investigation of the Sheriff's Office to the Department of Justice, the Illinois Attorney General, and the Illinois State Police as well. They say, we strongly encourage the Sangamon County Sheriff's Department, Emergency Telephone System Department, and State's Attorney Office to answer all of the Department of Justice's questions in the letter so that we can all understand what exactly happened before, during, and after Sonia Massie was killed by a Sangamon County deputy. Now, this is what Joanne Johnson, co-chair of the Massey Commission, said in a statement on Sunday, saying these answers will help inform our work as we continue to research reform ideas and recommendations at the Massey Commission to make sure a tragedy like this doesn't happen again. Well, it's a little too late because another tragedy like this has already happened, this time in Las Vegas. And we're going to get into that in just a moment. It is all so sad. Okay, absolutely so sad and nefarious. Now, the DOJ's probe is separate from the ongoing case against Grayson, who has pleaded not guilty to the charges of murder, aggravated battery of a firearm, and official misconduct. Massey, a mother of 2, joined Breonna Taylor and Tatiana Jefferson on a list of Black women killed in their own homes by law enforcement, whose deadly use of force has come under scrutiny. Now, on July the 6th, Massey called 911 to report a possible intruder at her home, and this is according to prosecutors. Now, what began with a calm conversation between Massey and the 2 sheriff's deputies at her front door and in her living room soon devolved after Grayson took steps that Illinois prosecutors and others have said escalated the situation. Now, in a state court filing, prosecutors said a use of force expert had reviewed the body camera footage and concluded the use of deadly force was not even justified. Massey's family said that she struggled with mental health issues, and dispatch records showed the sheriff's department had been told that Massey was experiencing a mental health crisis. Now, the day before the shooting, her mother called 911 and said her daughter was having a mental breakdown, but wasn't dangerous. The sheriff's office also came under scrutiny for its May 2023 decision to hire Grayson in the first place. Records show that he had been discharged from the Army for serious misconduct. Okay, nothing small. It was, in fact, very serious. Now, which the Sheriff's Department said it understood to be a 2015 DUI conviction and pleaded guilty to a second DUI charge in 2016. Records also show that he was employed since 2020 by 6 different Illinois law enforcement agencies. Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell retired back in August. Okay, he didn't want to face any consequences, I'm sure. Likely retired early. But see, here's the thing. Some people may say, well, it was just DUIs. So why is that serious? Well, so glad you asked. The reason it's serious is because if you have 2 DUIs in a short span of time like that, like he has, it is very likely that you're in fact an alcoholic. And if you're an alcoholic, you may also be doing illegal drugs. Now, even if you aren't doing illegal drugs, you clearly may be an alcoholic. And with that all being said, do you really need to be working on anybody's police force? Okay, are you going to be in your right frame of mind? Are you going to be a safety hazard with the public? Well, of course, you likely will be. And not to mention driving around in police cruisers, you could hit somebody. Who knows what can go on with these people who are alcoholics? Because that's exactly what I believe that he just might be. Okay, so the DOJ has requested copies of all documents related to the Massey case, including phone logs, dispatch records, transcripts, and recordings, body camera footage, and a list of personnel who responded to the scene. The sheriff's office was also asked to provide information on its hiring process and policing standards dating back to 2020. Now, the DOJ asked that the records and information also be provided by December the 14th. Grayson did not activate his body camera until after the fatality, okay, when he shot and killed her. Now, according to charging documents. And the other deputy who was there activated his body camera when he first arrived at the scene, as he was supposed to do. And so after the shooting, Grayson left the house and spoke to a group of law enforcement officers who were outside in the yard, saying, "Yeah, I'm good. This effing bitch is crazy." This is what he said after he was taking some woman's life, an innocent woman at that. Okay, so please pay attention. That is the latest on that. And I hope this man gets the death penalty because that was cold-blooded murder. At the end of the day, it was more than just a deadly use of force. At the end of the day, it was cold-blooded, premeditated murder. Okay. With that being said, and here's why I say that, because as I told you all back when I first reported on it and showed you the body camera footage, he literally got upset because she rebuked him in the name of Jesus. Why did he get that mad that he decided right then and there to take her life? This was premeditated. And in fact, in my opinion at least, and in fact, you don't have to plan something out months, weeks, or even days in advance for it to be premeditated. You can premeditate something within seconds or even minutes. That's what you can absolutely do. When you make the conscious decision with mens rea, okay, which means a guilty mind in legal terms, when you make that conscious decision right then and there, it could be seconds. You can decide, you know what? She said something that ticked me off. Now I'm about to end her. That's premeditated. Okay? That's premeditated. So make no mistakes. Also darn sad. But meanwhile, like I told you, this stuff hasn't stopped. There's another story, so sad to report on, that happened in Las Vegas. A Vegas man called 911 for help, but instead, well, the police took him out. So let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And listen, here's the thing. How many times have we had these stories or heard these stories where a person of my skin tone has called the cops and then only ends up dead by, at the hands of the same police that they called to help them? Okay, here we go. So let's talk about it because this is absolutely so sad. And at the end of the day, this man literally, I'm going to share my screen in just a second, but this man literally was in the midst of already fighting for his life. There was someone who'd broken into his home and had a knife, and he's fighting them, but the police get there and take his life. Please make that make sense.
Com. A family in Las Vegas is demanding answers after a father was shot and killed by police in his own home. Newly released police body cam video shows this 43-year-old Brandon Durham struggling with an alleged intruder last week before an officer opens fire. A warning here, a heads up. The video is disturbing to watch. Carter Evans has the story.
Red beanie, wearing a black sweatshirt and dark black pants.
Police arrived at this Las Vegas residence responding to a potential home invasion. The caller, real estate agent Brandon Durham, who told the operator that he and his daughter were going to lock themselves in their rooms.
Hey, they said they made entry. We got to go in there.
The video shows Officer Alexander Bookman entering the house.
Kick it. Hey, drop the knife.
Then he sees two people struggling with a knife.
Hey, drop the knife.
The officer fires his weapon, striking Durham. We're freezing the video before he goes down. Bookman then fires 5 more rounds at Durham on the ground.
Put your hands up.
He was pronounced dead at the scene.
He was screaming for help in his home with a visible intruder in a red hoodie and a ski mask. And you shoot my brother?
And now his family's pushing for answers.
And he called the police for safety, and instead he was brutally murdered. Someone needs to explain to me why my son is not here with us today.
The loss of life in any type of incident like this is always tragic, and it's something we take very seriously.
Bookman is now on paid leave while Las Vegas Metro PD investigates whether he acted appropriately or should face criminal charges.
You know, every time a police officer uses force, he has to be able to articulate why he used that force. And even if he did use that one round, how is it that he continued shooting after the person was down in such a rapid succession? It's going to have a lot of explaining.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Carter Evans.
Now, here's the thing. How did that even make any sense? How did that even make any sense? Because first of all, they already knew that a person from inside that residence is the one who called 911. They knew that the person who called was a male. When they entered the house, even if you see two people struggling over a knife, why don't you just shoot in the air to make the person with the knife drop it, make both of them freeze? Or if you're going to shoot one of them because you feel that's what you need to do, why wouldn't you think? I mean, it's just common sense to me that the one with no shirt on is the one who lives there. And the one wearing a whole red hoodie is the one that broke in. How does that make a bit of sense? And then, like the guy said, after you shot him and he went down, why did you continue shooting him? Can you imagine? Can you imagine how that man felt as he lied there on the ground being shot after he called the police to help him, and he was already fighting for his damn life before they got there. He was literally already fighting for his life, and his daughter was in the house. They were scared. Okay, they didn't have any weapon to protect or defend themselves. He was literally fighting that man over the knife. That is crazy as hell. That is crazy as hell. And for those of you who've been following me, this really touches home because you know that I told you guys that somebody broke into my house one time when I was there years ago, and they had a knife, and I had to fight them over the knife. Now imagine if I'd called the police beforehand. Same thing could happen to me. This is all so damn crazy. Sometimes it pays to use common sense. If you didn't know which one was which, why would you murder either of them if you just didn't know? And the knife was never pointed at the officer. So why did he feel the need to murder anybody at the end of the day? This is so damn crazy. My condolences, prayers for the family. It is so heartbreaking to even think that this happened, let alone to sit there and witness it. His daughter was in the house. She will likely forever be traumatized. How do you get past something like this? To be honest with you, I'm traumatized from even seeing the story. Okay, this is all crazy. This is all crazy, but this is what happens in the United States, or shall I say the divided snakes. This is all so darn sad. Anyway, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Now let's talk about this DCF worker who took the life of a 13-year-old girl that she, in fact, adopted. This is somebody who worked for DCF. Okay, now she was an ex-worker, but nonetheless, she previously had worked there. Let me put her picture up on the screen because some people are just demons walking around cloaked in human flesh as far as I'm concerned. And she clearly is one. She clearly is one. So let's talk about it. Ex-DCF worker charged with murder after adoptive teen daughter found naked, emaciated, and wearing a diaper. So, a former child services employee has been arrested and charged with murder after her teenage daughter was found unresponsive on the floor with signs of extensive abuse, according to the police. Diane Natasha Mack, 34 years old, was arrested in connection with the death of the 13-year-old who was found unresponsive in her Sebring, Florida home last week. Okay, this is what the Highlands County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. Police responded to the residence early in the morning on Friday, November the 15th, and found the victim unresponsive on the floor by the door, per their statements. Police alleged that Mack initially told them she found the child unresponsive Thursday morning before changing her account to say she'd found the child that afternoon instead. After finding the deceased girl, Mack allegedly drove four other children from her home to a residence in Titusville, about 2.5 hours away, okay, before returning home and then calling the police. Sheriff Paul Blackman further alleged that the teenager, whose name has not been released, was found nude except for a diaper. This is so damn sad. Like, stuff like this really gets under my skin. She was extremely emaciated and obviously malnourished. Her body was covered in wounds in all stages of healing, including open lacerations that were clearly recently suffered. Investigators learned the child had been locked away in the garage of the residence and was being homeschooled. It wasn't clear how long the child had been in the garage. Blackman further alleged that Mack had used pool chlorine to destroy evidence in the garage while the victim lay dead on the floor before she even dared to call 911. Dirty dog. I hope this woman gets the death penalty. I promise you, I hope she does. She needs a death penalty for this kind of stuff. Mack, who is the victim's adoptive mother, is a former employee at the Department of Children and Family Services. Blackman said her career working alongside children makes these allegations even more disturbing. She worked as a guardian ad litem, a person appointed by the court to speak on behalf of an individual or child who cannot adequately represent themselves, according to police. They say that someone whose job it was to look after the welfare of children could treat their own child in this manner is simply beyond belief. Mack has been charged with first-degree murder while engaged in aggravated child abuse, kidnapping, and destroying evidence. She's been held at the Highlands County Jail without bond, okay, online. This is according to online jail records. And they say it wasn't immediately clear if Mack has entered pleas or retained an attorney to speak on her behalf. Okay, so this is all very sad. This is absolutely gruesome. Absolutely gruesome. Malnourished, so she hadn't been fed, different wounds, healing and unhealed, and then even lacerations and all of that. This poor child went through hell. Condolences to any family, friends, and loved ones that she has. Maybe she didn't have anybody besides this thug that just took her life. It is all so darn sad. Please pay attention. This is what some people do. This is absolutely why some people just don't need to have kids. And she adopted a child only to do this to them. So let's talk about this naked doctor who is so nefarious. Okay, please pay attention. Walking around the office butt naked. This is what he was doing. Doctor's medical license suspended after video shows him performing an sexual act with a staffer and walking around the clinic naked. A majority of the Arkansas State Medical Board found the doctor's alleged behavior created an ongoing danger to the public. He will have a hearing in September. In December. Why does he even need a hearing? Okay, why does he even need a hearing at this point? Let me put his picture up on the screen. Honey, somebody doing sick stuff like this, there's no hearing that needs to be held as far as I'm concerned. That's him right there. That is him right there. And this is what this devil was out here doing. Okay, please pay attention. And so anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now I'm going to go to some footage in a second, but here's what the report says. The board issued an emergency suspension on Wednesday pending a hearing on the matter, alleging that Dr. David Define violated the Medical Practices Act. Now, the board received a complaint in July claiming the doctor engaged in sexual contact with staff who are also his patients and sexually harassed these same individuals. Now, the complaint said the issue required immediate action regarding the public health, safety, and welfare. Footage of the sexual conduct and harassment was attached to the complaint. The board wrote the video shows, among other things, Dr. Define performing an sexual act with a staff member while other staff members were present and watching. How sick is he? Now, the video also shows Dr. Define walking through the clinic like completely undressed. In reaction to the footage, a member of the Arkansas Medical Foundation, Dr. Bradley Diner, said the perverse behavior leads to concerns about an sexual compulsive disorder or paraphilia, which may in fact cross boundaries with his delivery of medical care. Simply, the interaction with his office staff suggests an entanglement in his medical practice. Now, given these additional concerns, I recommend that he have a more formal professional evaluation for safety to practice. Why isn't he just put this? First of all, this all sounds crazy as hell to me. So they want to suspend his license. His license should be revoked. It should be terminated. He should never ever be able to practice again. Like, this don't make no sense to me whatsoever. Define previously had his license suspended in 2017 because he allegedly prescribed a large amount of controlled substances to multiple patients while failing to maintain proper records of the dosages. Why does this man still have a license in the first place? To cause and wreak more havoc? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Look at him. That should give you your answer right there. That's why he still has it. Okay, please pay attention. Now, Define will appear at a hearing on December the 6th to examine if he violated the Medical Practices Act. Oh, they need to look into it. They need to do a study. They need to research to find out whether or not he violated the Medical Practices Act. I'm sorry, isn't that obvious? Isn't that evident? I mean, doesn't it just take a little bit of common sense? Not even any critical thinking skills to see that's exactly what this devil has done. Now, the board will determine if he utilized words or acts which actually harass coworkers or employees or patients within the clinic or hospital setting. I'm sorry, somebody please make this all make sense. How is it making any sense at all whatsoever? What are they talking about here? Why are they acting like they need to try to figure this crap out? I mean, it should be abundantly clear that he's not to ever be around patients again. Like, this is all so asinine to me. I just absolutely don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. But like I told you all, look at him. I'm sure you can see why. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the footage. Likes up, everyone, please share. This is all so darn crazy. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go.
About a Northeast Arkansas physician who had his license suspended. The suspension of Dr. David Diffenay stemmed from a complaint sent into the state medical board in July related to alleged inappropriate sexual contact in one of his medical offices. We sent in a Freedom of Information Act request to the Arkansas State Medical Board to get access to Diffenay's file. According to the investigators' report, Diffenay denied all of the claims listed in the complaint. Macy Davis joins us now, breaking down what we learned.
The board received the complaint on July 17th. It included multiple video files, and we do want to warn you, the video is graphic. We have censored it due to the explicit content. Anyone who might be sensitive to this content may want to change the channel.
According to board documents, this video was taken in 2019 Diffenay family practice in Blytheville. In it, Dr. David Diffenay can be seen walking around naked, including in the hallway between patient rooms. Another video clip sent in shows him in the receptionist area walking around 3 women and performing a sex act directly in front of one of the women. The clip ends with him ejaculating on her. According to the documents we received, not only did the woman work in Diffenay's office as a lab tech for another company, she was one of his patients. According to the person who sent the board the videos, this all happened during business hours. They also claimed Diffenay used his, quote, position of power, sexual grooming, salary increases to groom employees and patients into repulsive acts. At least one person agrees. Dr. Bradley Diner with the Arkansas Medical Foundation wrote, quote, "The pervasive behavior leads to concerns about a sexual compulsive disorder of paraphilia, which may in fact cross boundaries with his delivery of medical care." An investigator with the Arkansas Department of Health interviewed Dr. Diffenay in September. According to the report from that interview, Dr. Diffenay was informed there were video clips of his actions. Dr. Diffenay said, quote, "I don't know anything about that at all. I'd have to see those things to have any idea what you're talking about," end quote.
K8 News attempted to call Diffenay at his various offices for a comment. We also called his personal phone number and left a voicemail. We received no response. So we went to his home to see if he would answer our questions.
I'm going to ring one more time.
We noticed a vehicle near his home at the time. No one came to the door. I also reached out to his cell phone through text after we stopped by, but we did not get a response back. This isn't the first time Diffenay has been investigated by the medical board. Earlier this year, someone complained about what Diffenay calls his naturist activities. In the January complaint, the board was informed that Diffenay was posting nude photos of himself on his social media accounts. The complainant included screenshots from Diffenay's Instagram account, Naked Dr. Dave. In his response to the board, Diffenay said he is a naturist, and his accounts were well known to the naturist community. He cited the practice as promoting acceptance and body positivity, adding, quote, "We do not shame, sexualize, fear, or negatively stigmatize the naked body." He added that there was, quote, "no crossover whatsoever with my professionalism while practicing medicine and my naturist activities," end quote. During its June meeting, the board chose not to take any action and decided to save the documentation as information only and add it to his file for future reference. Diffenay has also been investigated in the past for allegations surrounding illegally distributing pain medications. His Arkansas medical license was temporarily suspended in 2017 while the board investigated those claims of overprescribing. The board sent Diffenay a letter saying they found no evidence of a violation of the Arkansas Medical Practices Act and closed the investigation. In Missouri in 2011, Diffenay entered into a deferred prosecution agreement after he was investigated by the medical board and criminally charged for allegedly illegally distributing pain medications. Criminal charges were dropped, and Diffenay agreed not to practice medicine in Missouri for 3 years. In 2013, the Missouri State Board of Registration for the Healing Arts closed the matter before the medical board and took no action.
On October 14th, the Arkansas State Medical Board suspended Diffenay's license related to the videos submitted in July. His hearing is set for December 6th. We will be there to provide further updates. In studio, Macy Davis, K8 News.
Diffenay's hearing will be at 4 p.m., as Macy said, on December 6th.
We are looking at it.
Okay, please make it all make sense. That is absolutely egregious. Okay, it's also sick. What is wrong with people? Okay, now they're saying he may have some type of, I guess, fetish or whatever called paraphilia. At the end of the day, whatever he has, he needs to be locked up somewhere for being disgusted. Okay, needs to be locked the hell up. But let's talk about this because older bully hangs second grader by his neck in bathroom, but the district shockingly calls it horseplay, according to a parent. Now, here's what I want you all to pay attention to. I want you all to pay attention to this because this happened a few years ago, a similar story where, hold on, where some 14 and 15-year-old teenagers took a biracial little boy who was 8 years old and they hanged him from a picnic table with one of those tire things that people use for a swing. They put a noose around his neck and then took the tire thing and put it around his waist or something, then shoved him off of the table, if memory serves me correct. Now, mind you, when they did this, the parents and the grandparents of the child were very upset, as they should be, and who wouldn't. But the sheriff's office, the police, they all said that this was just horseplay. You see, that's what they say when it's their children doing something nefarious to children of my skin tone. They said that it was, in fact, simply horseplay. Now, I want you all to pay attention, because how does that even make a bit of sense? Who's playing like that? And if if a kid, specifically a teenager of my skin tone, did that to someone who wasn't their skin tone, what do you think they'd say then? Would they still say, oh, this was just horseplay? Well, you already know they would. You already know they would. Anyway, older bully hangs second grader by his neck in school bathroom, but district shockingly calls it horseplay. Okay, so a Maryland second grader was rushed to the hospital after he was hung in the boys' bathroom by an older bully who told him, I'm going to show you how I did people back in the day. That's what he said. The horrifying incident, which left a 7-year-old boy in the hospital with a neck contusion, unfolded Friday at C0pz Barnhart Elementary School in Waldorf, a suburb about 23 miles southeast of Washington, D.C. Now, it goes on to say, my child, who is a second grader, was hung in the boys' bathroom by a fourth grader. This is what the boy's mother wrote on social media. She says, I received the most traumatizing phone call from the school stating my child was being rushed to the children's hospital in Northwest. Okay, I'm feeling anger and seeing red, but my son is here by the grace of God, and I will be forever thankful. Now, paperwork from the boy's hospital visit listed one of his injuries as a neck contusion, which is caused by blunt trauma. Now, she says, if you look at my son, he has marks under his eyes like blood vessels. He still has bruises on his neck from being choked. This is all crazy. And this is a fourth grader that did this. Now, what kind of sick ass kid is this? Sounds like Damien from Omen. Okay, he's traumatized. It's going to take time. This is not something he's going to just get over overnight. Yeah, absolutely. And I would not only be pressing charges against that little thug, I'd be pressing charges against his parents because they taught him this. This is learned behavior. He wasn't born this way 9 times out of 10. I will be suing his parents, and I'll be pressing charges against them as well. Now, think back to the time there was a couple whose dog attacked and killed this woman, and they went to prison for not controlling their dogs. So at the end of the day, the parents of this thug should go to jail just like him. Okay, he should be in a detention center somewhere until he's 21 years old, as far as I'm concerned. Now, with that all being said, they say Charles County Public Schools confirmed the incident, chalking it up to horseplay in a letter to parents, an answer that the boy's family feels is not sufficient. Honey, I would be suing the school. Okay, I'd be suing the Board of Education. I'd be suing the parents of that child. I'll be suing them too for monetary compensation, and not, like I said, also pressing criminal charges. Now, they say it doesn't make sense to me. If you're horse playing, how do you get caught on a hook? Like, we need answers. I want answers, and we won't stop till we get answers. Excuse me. This is what the boy's mother said. She says, my son did tell me that when they were in the bathroom, he said the little boy told him, I'm going to show you how I did people back in the day. That's why I feel like it's bullying. She says, it's not telling how many other kids this has happened to. Doesn't this little kid sound like someone who was a whole devil? And then they're here for their second reincarnation and still a devil, because he said how he used to do people back in the day. This is all crazy. But like I said, he learned this from his parents, I guarantee you. He learned it from them. Now, it goes on to say, where was the teacher? The teacher didn't notice that they were in the restroom too long, didn't find anything strange about that. This is all some sick stuff. And so anyway, it goes on to say, while the parents have removed their son from the school, they hope the district will improve how it monitors students. She says, I want to see a policy in place, at least have hallway monitors. I want to know, why is a fourth grader in the same bathroom as a second grader? Most schools have them divided. I feel this is very unacceptable. And that's a good question. Why is a fourth grader in the same restroom as a second grader? Because the fourth grader should have been in his class. Okay, sometimes they'll let kids out to go to the restroom by themselves, but most times they take them, to the restroom. All right, and let them go in one by one or however many. But why is a fourth grader who's not even in this little boy's class in the restroom with him? I have questions. She says, these are all our children and they are the future. So we need to protect them. Like we're sending our kids to school every day thinking that they're safe. This is what the boy's father said. Honey, it will be all kind of repercussions for this. Okay, it will be all kind of, Laverne said, a past life wanton supremacist. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what it sounds like. This is all some sick stuff. Anyway, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Red White Entertainment said exactly, Queen. Thank you, beloved. It's just so sad and pathetic that these things go on. Nia said learned behavior. Absolutely. On Purpose said these minors don't care about charges. Well, he's only in the 4th grade, so he's 9 years old. I don't even think, beloved, that he even knows about charges. But what he does know is what his parents have taught him. And I'm pretty sure his parents have been doing these things, talking about these things around the house, bragging about what their ancestors did to our ancestors, showing him all kind of movies of people who look like me being subjugated, and being just harassed and just their lives taken, enslaved, and all of that. This is probably exactly what they're showing him. Okay, these are his after school specials. This is all so sick. Okay, at the end of the day, honey, but I'll tell you what, if that was my child, baby, nobody would have to be in jail except for me. Okay, that's the only person who would have been in jail is me if they had been my damn son. I promise you that. Either of my sons, honey. Okay, please pay attention. All right. See, Stan, thank you for your contribution and your kind words, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. This is all crazy. Fat Boo says, my grandparents and parents didn't let us listen to their conversations. Exactly. But see, here's the thing, beloved. It wasn't that he was probably just listening or being in the same room trying to be nosy like little kids do. They probably literally called him in there and sat him down and commenced to telling him about these things, teaching him about hatred, teaching him about being a whole demon and a devil like his ancestors. That's probably exactly how that went down. They probably purposely sat him there and taught him these things because it's sad to say, but that's what some of these wantons and supremacists absolutely do. This is why I've told you all before in previous reports how these Karens, who are the mothers of wanton supremacy, because who's raising them, right? I've told you and shown you with proof how they've made little Klansmen costumes and outfits for their very own children. And I've shown you pictures of Klansmen, in fact, with kids at the rallies. Okay, this is all crazy. But then if you remember, I also showed you all the picture of a Klansman who don't even like people who look like me. Let me pull this picture back up. Okay, but he actually had the audacity. Hold on. He had the audacity to have dreadlocks in his hair. How the hell do you hate somebody, but you got dreadlocks in your hair? Let's talk about that real quick, because I still don't see that. This is just absolutely crazy to me. It says, and this came out in 2017. A photo taken at a KKK rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, has provoked widespread disbelief online after a member was pictured with plaited dreadlocks. The photo was taken by Devontae Cunningham, a recent graduate from the University of Virginia, and it went viral soon after it was posted that Saturday. He says, me and my friend were in total disbelief. We really couldn't believe we had just seen a Klansman with dreads. Okay, we're looking at the KKK here, and the dreadlocks are basically a symbol of African culture. It was really weird to see. It was really weird to see. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it absolutely was weird to see, but I'm going to make it make sense as to why you would see such a thing. I'm going to make it make sense. This is all crazy. Now, goes on to say, many people online reflected Cunningham's astonishment, questioning why a member of the KKK, a wanton supremacist group, I don't call them superior or supreme because that's what they're not. Let's pay attention. But wanton supremacists would wear a hairstyle more traditionally associated with African American culture. The man who hasn't been identified was wearing several Klan symbols on his shirt. Saturday's rally was held by the North Carolina-based Loyal Knights of the KKK. Members were protesting against the city's plan to remove the statue of a Confederate general from a local park. According to CNN, this is one of several steps that are being taken by Charlottesville officials to reduce the number of Confederate monuments in the city. Now, this was the first KKK rally that Cunningham witnessed in Charlottesville, and he felt compelled to show his opposition. He said, I was angry that they were coming to a place that I have called home for the past 6 years. Okay. So I knew that whatever counter protest was going to be happening, I was going to be there. Now, Cunningham took a number of black and white pictures at the event, saying he tried to speak to the Klansman with dreadlocks, but the man simply walked away. Speak to him for what, honey? I wouldn't want to say anything to him. Local media reported that approximately 50 KKK supporters attended the rally and that they were vastly outnumbered by several hundred counter protesters. While many social media users questioned why a KKK member would adopt dreadlocks, others joined the debate on Twitter to claim that the hairstyle isn't owned by any particular culture. That's what they said, and you already know what type of people said that, right? Please pay attention. Saying dreadlocks don't belong to any culture. Then one of them said a majority of white people hate KKK. Yeah, sure you do. If a majority of white people hated the Klan, honey, they would no longer exist. They would no longer exist. Okay, please pay attention. And aren't they, in fact, registered in the United States as a Christian group? Not as extremists and terrorists like they tried to label black folk back a few years ago, talking about black identity extremists. Yeah, please pay attention. Why the hell was the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense founded by Huey P. Newton? Why were they dismantled and disbanded, but the Klan still rises, still walks around? I mean, they're doing whole rallies, having parades and all of that. Why are they still allowed to persist and exist? That's because most white people probably don't care. Okay, so please don't sit here and try to convince us that most people hate them, because if that's the case, why are they still here? I have several questions. Now, Cunningham says he might be moving away from Charlottesville soon to start a PhD, but if any KKK rallies happen in the meantime, he says that he will be ready with a camera, saying for a few years now, my camera has been attached to me. If the KKK come back, I'll definitely be here, he says. Now, let me show you the picture of this thing right here with locks in his hair. And I'm sorry, they can sit there and say whatever they want to say, but at the end of the day, black people started with dreadlocks. So yeah, we do own it at the end of the day. We can't stop anybody else from wearing it, but at the end of the day, we absolutely do own it, just like we own cornrows. Okay, so please miss me with it. With that all being said, now let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. See that? See that? Now, here's the thing. Okay, now here's the thing. At the end of the day, when they're asking why would a Klansman wear locks, well, here's the reason why. Because first of all, Klansmen are nothing but jealous, envious haters of people who look like me. They're envious of black people. And the fact that he's walking around being a whole racist, wanton supremacist with dreadlocks further proves my point. Because if you so despise us, why would you want to be anything like us? But Klansmen and people like that who hate us so much, they really are just jealous because they can't be us. These are the same type of people that try so desperately to emulate us. These are the type of people that lie out in the sun trying to get as dark as possible. These are the kinds of people who go get collagen injected into their lips. These are the kind of people who try to mimic our hairstyles and our culture. These are the people who blackfish. That's why. In case anybody was wondering, that's why he had those locks in his hair. And that's why he's also mad. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Everyone, please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Now, don't forget that the members only live about those people telling all those lies is going to be going on the main channel at 5 o'clock. So make sure you tune in. And I already dropped the link for the members. It's already posted. I posted it right before this live started. And there is the link once again. Okay, so anyway, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
skin. God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now.
That's
See
right.
a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy.
Real slick.
I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got